online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Games with my heart.
You're hanging.
With my heart, I'm still playing games with my heart.
I should have known.
Keep serenading me. Go
I
ahead.
should have known from the start. From my heart, from my heart. I live my life.
We're still going. It's great. Awesome.
The way
Swoon.
that keeps you coming back to me. Deep within my soul. I don't know.
Oh, no, I'm sure you could go the whole way.
I'm-
We can continue that later if you're interested.
We can go the whole way?
If you want.
You said it, not me.
You sing the whole song to me.
Hashtag.
And then we'll see.
We're gonna
Sing the Backstreet Boys?
exactly.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And
I saw
Britney?
them. I saw them live.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. They were on Undateable live, and
Oh, you did? Yes. That's
me and
awesome.
Nick Carter kicked it.
Well, today we're talking about the season finale of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. The Gang Goes to Hell Part 2. I'm
Deuce.
Marielou Mandl. Find me on all social media at Marielou Mandl, hanging out with my love, JoJo Doyle.
My darling, you're gonna make me blush. Yeah.
Again? More and more?
Again, more and more. I don't know why I'm so bashful around you. I think it's just that my true colors are flying.
You can't handle it. You got lipstick on your cheek. We got caught.
Busted. That's right. Hashtag we did. You can find me at JoJo Doyle over at Mary Lou's place. I don't know. Maybe not.
Who knows? Yeah, 2 seasons coming.
Yeah, it's
or
true.
Or not. Maybe now it'll be
It's true.
awful. Sorry, Danica and Mike. This is what you're missing. We're having a party here, celebrating with Dos Equis.
Stay thirsty, my friend.
The end of It's Always Sunny, season 11.
Yeah, and it was a doozy. It got me. It made me laugh. It made me get anxious.
Yeah.
I don't know if it made me cry.
Did you cheer up a little bit?
I mean, I got a little misty.
Yeah.
I think I did. But it was like fear mist.
Fear mist. It was fear mist.
Yeah, because I don't want to jump right into things and jump ahead.
Yeah.
But when that ship started going down, I started getting this visceral feelings and experiences, and I couldn't even imagine what that would be like.
Yeah, no, that would be scary and awful. And I saw you, I got a little nervous because, you got a special place in my heart.
Oh, thanks,
And
babe.
I didn't want you to be stressed out.
Oh my goodness, this is awesome. Wow, this is...
And in the spirit of love, we want to say congratulations to Kevin and Maria, our fearless leaders here at AfterBuzz TV, for getting engaged.
Yes, he popped the question on the Howard Stern show.
Yeah.
Robin Quivers noted that it was a big old ring. She didn't say it like that, but I mean, yeah, I couldn't be happier. They created this for us, and I can't wait to see what they continue to create in the next chapter of their life.
19 years. They've been rocking and rolling, and now he put a ring on it. Get it, Kevin.
You know what? Good for you, Kevin, for not feeling pressure to do it sooner. You know what, man? Do your thing. You took the right time, and you did it perfectly.
Yeah, I think it's wonderful because they're so good together. I've seen them together a few times, and I was like, nothing needs to change. If they want to change it, then that's great. But they're wonderful. They're already wonderful.
It was perfect. It was perfect. So congratulations, guys. We're really
That's
excited.
what we can aspire to be, Joe.
Don't even threaten me with a good time. I swear. I swear. We're going out on Monday night, you guys.
All right.
I mean, next Monday.
No, not yet. Not next week because I will be gone. But luckily, we won't be here.
That's true.
We're done because it's the season finale, and let's get into it.
Let's do it.
You ready?
Let's do it.
So, The Gang Goes to Hell Part 2. So, I wasn't here last week, and today, because sometimes the episodes are one-off, I have to admit, I was this close to not watching last week's episode and only watching tonight's and being like, oh, it'll be fine. They can fill me in. And I'm so glad that I did go and watch it because it was a two-parter.
Yeah, you would have been complete. Well, I mean, I'm sure I have confidence in you. You would have caught up, somehow.
Especially since they did their the very obvious recap.
Oh yeah, that's true. Like the quintessential, two-parter. Let's let everybody know what's going on beforehand thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I feel confident that you could have done it, but you watched the one beforehand, and it worked out great.
Yeah, it was great, and I really, really enjoyed it. But so I didn't get to watch your after show with Danica. Did you guys both think that they were actually?
I did.
Getting judged?
I did.
Yeah?
Yeah, I did. I was just like, well, the show's done some crazy things. Well, let's see how they get out of this one. Maybe they judge they have more time back on Earth. I don't know, but I got duped.
Yeah.
I thought that they were being judged for real.
I was like, no, they're like in the police station or the hospital. That's where they were. Because there's like a whole other season.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. And they don't really do anything too mystical here in the show. Like they get like high and they get drunk and weird things happen.
And they think it's mystical.
But it's not like necessarily really there.
Right. But I thought, I don't know, like I thought maybe for some reason this was the moment because they've been doing all these things that have been like, it's like they're checking off like bucket lists of like things that they want to do in episodes before the series ends.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, maybe they're checking one off. They're going to somehow get us back on track, and they sure did.
No, and I like the pushing of the envelope for it, because it could have gone that way. They could, if they went that way and they actually did die and found some way to send them back, I would accept it still.
Oh yeah, completely. Because I've accepted crazier things.
Yeah,
that have gone on.
My other favorite moment, or like my favorite moment from the last episode, is Mac admitting that he's gay.
Finally.
That's so wonderful. Even though in the end of this one he's like, "Oh no, that's not real."
Right. Because there is a God, and if there was no God, then he would be gay. But since there is a God, then it's confirmed that whatever went down between him and those two dudes apparently wasn't gay.
Yeah.
Well, then again, he did, sleep with the trans.
He's done plenty of gay things.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's just chalk it up to some good old Mac-isms.
To Mac being gay. Any reason to drink.
Exactly.
Yeah, so then we catch up with the gang, and they do this like really awkward, funny recap saying that they're on this Christian cruise, they're locked in the brig, and the alarm stops. Like there's an alarm going off and then it stops and it's silent. And the gang all is like, "Oh, if we were okay, we would hear the engine." And then they all start doing engine impressions.
Yeah, they went into this whole big impression thing, and they did engine impressions for 4 hours and 6 minutes. 4 hours and 6 minutes, which for the gang was like a short amount of time, an improvement on their conflict resolution time. Exactly, like half. They did it they halved it. Normally it takes them eight hours. That's a lot of time.
Yeah, that
is a lot of time. But they also did impressions of CCH Pounder, which was hilarious. And strangely enough, I can only do impressions of black actors.
Okay.
That's all I can do.
Seems like it's time for you to do that.
Okay, so do you want to hear? I'll give you an option of hearing one of three.
Okay.
Bill Cosby. All right, there's one. Bernie Mac. That's two. And then the third one is Morgan Freeman. Okay.
Do we have any votes in the engineering booth? Does our producer have a vote?
Bernie Mac.
All right, Bernie Mac.
Okay. Well, we're here right now talking about a little bit of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia right now, children, and we're having a great time. Mac is gay, and that's pretty great. I'm Bernie Mac.
That was way better than D's Obama.
Thank you. Okay.
Nice.
So thank you. I appreciate it. So that's my Bernie Mac. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool. But it's only impressions of black guys.
Of black guys.
Huh.
And I can do Morgan Freeman. Here we sit, drinking Dos Equis in the AFTERBUZZ studio. I'm Morgan Freeman.
Well, if you did two, you have to do the third.
Okay. Well, you see, that we find out that Dennis seems to have a pocket onion for situations where he needs to cry. Rudy! Okay, so that's the other one.
Bill Cosby, do you find that you always have an onion in your pocket?
He's got something in his pocket. And it's always never mind.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, but that's such a Dennis thing for him to like have an onion in his pocket, which the reasoning was, so if he needed to show emotion or he's in a situation where somebody expects him to show emotion, he can whip that out.
And they call it back, and he does whip it out after the gang starts doing well, they started tattling. They were trying to come clean, but then they started tattling on everybody else.
I know. I think that was my favorite moment from Dee was like, damn it, Frank, we're not doing confessions, we're tattling.
Yeah. Frank actually tries to bring it full circle and like actually like talk about it. And then she's like, shut up. We're not doing that right now. We're trying to figure out what's going on. And blame other people. And
then another thing that they've brought back a few times in this episode is the oi, 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 oi scenario, which is this device that's been developed within the gang that we only learn about now, but it's to calm Charlie down.
Yeah, and it works great. And he goes, yeah. And it's really strange. Like, the gang has really, this last season, has gone batshit.
Yeah.
They've gone off the deep end. They really have, and it's great. It's great.
Yeah, and then we get a reference here to Luther, who's Mac's dad, in jail. You know, because they're stuck in jail. They're stuck in the brig. They're freaking out a little bit, and then Mac brings up, he's like, "Listen, like I didn't like hear back from my dad, but I'm sure if he wrote me back, he would have said, stay calm, and I love you, son."
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You know, so that's like been a long time thing with the show that Mac wants a relationship with his dad. And has never had it.
Never ever gotten it.
And then what's the bomb that we get on that?
It's all because of Dennis.
All because of Dennis. He's been getting letters. Like, the dad had been writing letters to Mac.
And he's been just holding him back. I mean, mostly it was put drugs in your rectum.
And send porn.
Yeah.
But Mac was sick. I could have had a relationship.
Oh, Mac would have been in jail because he definitely, anything his dad would do, like, he would do it. So there'd be all sorts of drugs up in his bum.
All sorts
of drugs. It would be nuts. Like, even more than regular amount of drugs in his bum, because I'm sure that something's going crazy with those guys.
And wasn't there some, like, little thing about buttholes that, like, they didn't even, like, reference it? It was just, like, Dennis said it and then it was gone?
Yeah, because his dad, he didn't want Luther to, like, well, if Luther came over here, then he probably would, like, you know, murder us or eat our butts or something. And it's like,
they didn't even say anything about it. It just was like, whoop.
Yeah.
So then it makes me wonder, what did Luther do to Dennis?
Ate his butt.
Yeah, is that the core of Dennis and his destruction?
I mean, that might be a part of it, yeah. I mean, that he... But I don't know, but see, was he eating butts back in the day, or did he just resort to butt eating?
Because of jail?
Yeah.
Lots of options there.
Right, because if he's, you know, out in the, you know, regular free world, then he doesn't really need to eat butts. Unless that's just his thing.
Unless he's into it.
And Luther's nuts, so that might be the case.
Right. So then, okay, so Dee is like, fine, I will do. Excuse me.
Hail Sneezer.
Sorry. This Obama impression, because she's like, I can't do this because he's a black guy and I'm a white woman. And then, who is it? Dennis does. They're like, oh, I can do an impression of a black woman.
He does CCH Pounder.
From The Shield. And they're all about it. But then when she does Obama, it is really wrong.
Well, yeah, because Obama has never publicly said any of the words that I feel like Dee was saying.
Yeah.
But it was perfect.
Yeah,
it was perfect.
That was great. But then, okay, so then after the impressions, we've got Mac, who's trying to embrace his new lifestyle and has them all gathered around for an imaginary dinner because he's gonna throw dinner parties.
Because you got to keep your mind going. Because, you know, his dad was in solitary, so he figured, you know, like, okay, if you keep your mind focused and working, you won't go nuts. So they have the dinner party, yeah, and it was the most bland. I mean, because Mac's still about his fitness, even, you know, in the face of death. And so he had, like, half-boiled raw chicken and, like, what was the drink?
Gatorade, blue Gatorade.
Yeah, blue Gatorade, but blue's not a flavor, so I don't know what they were drinking.
Well, and I love that because, like, coming from improv, right? Like, it's so fun when you're like, if you had an imaginary dinner party and they're like, oh, yes, there's a dog and there's, like, a whore over here and, you know, things like that. And you just kind of have to go with it.
Yeah.
But Mac is so like, no, this is my dinner party. He's like, there's no dog. And they're like, fine, get rid of him. Everybody else is already committed to the dog. And they say, kick him in the skull.
Shoot, kick him in the skull. Get him out of here. Yeah.
Yeah. They're already committed to this imaginary dog. So Mac has already lost control of his dinner party.
Yeah, it goes absolutely haywire. Frank gets his buxom whore back. And then it causes Mac to go insane, and it, like any bro should, flipped the table.
He flipped the table. He said, crash.
Throw the imaginary plate. Yeah.
Right, because Dee's in the back, like, blending milkshakes. And she's like, does anyone milkshake? Come over this way. Like,
and Mac's like, that's not what a blender sounds like. It's ridiculous.
Not.
Yeah.
It's not. So then the next part that happens is one of my favorite things in the episode is we've got Dennis is like throwing a coin, right? Mm-hmm. And then there's a slow build to everyone incorporating different noises. And then it's like a Stomp musical number.
Which is my favorite thing to do. And I wish that more of my friends were into it because it's so fun when something organically, is created like that.
Yeah? I've never had that happen, but I think it would be so magical if that happened in my realm.
Oh, okay. We'll go to Venice Beach and then you got to check out these drum circles because that's the thing. Like, it's just this organic, like, just like on the show, one person does something and then another person does something else. And then you realize, oh, wait, they go together. And then some person will add something else together. And so it was this really, like, it was a cute and honest moment from the gang.
Yeah.
And you could see how much, like, you could see why they actually like each other, which is lacking a lot of times. Sometimes, Charlie and Frank will, you'll know that they're best buds. They talk about that quite often. But you're like, why does everybody else hang out and like each other? And that was a neat moment to see that go down. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, we had a few of those there, like a few touching, like gang actually liking each other moments.
Yeah.
Even though at the end of this, they're like, oh, that was stupid.
Yeah, totally stupid. Yeah.
But we're like, no, it was so cool. And they knew it was cool.
Yeah, they did.
They're just trying to play it off. But then from that musical number, Dee opened up a box. And then Charlie calls it out, and he's like, wait, you open this thing up. Let's see what's in there. And what do we find?
A flare gun.
A flare gun!
Don't give the gang any sort of gun.
No. And then Dennis is like, I'll hold it for safekeeping. And this I love when Charlie flips out.
Yeah.
I love it.
Why do you need the gun, Frank? Mm-hmm. Yeah, and starts going nuts.
Yeah. I think that he's such a good actor because, like, this character is so off the rails, and he keeps it in control.
Yeah, and it's in this realm of realism.
Yeah, it's so great. I think he's wonderful. So I'm like, yes, keep doing it. What are we going to do without Charlie in our world?
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Mm-hmm. And he keeps it, and he starts thinking that everybody's dead. Mm-hmm. Like, we've already died. And it's just kind of like this, weird, like, lost type of thing. Like, maybe we're already dead. Maybe that we're just hanging out in purgatory. Yeah. So then he goes to prove it and shoots and see, that's the thing, like, normally that kind of violence and stuff, that doesn't bug me, but I thought he really just shot himself in the face, and I was so empathetic watching. I'm like, oh my god, that's terrifying.
Yeah, both of us were like gasping.
Yeah, because that's real. I mean, like,
yeah, like shooting yourself in the head with a flare gun, like that, like, actually they would do that.
Yeah, and I thought, oh, okay, that's how he died, and then maybe he set the thing on fire.
Yeah.
But somehow he survives and just, badly burned. But we realize that by this point, that the ship is sinking.
Yeah.
He wakes up to that, which would be even more terrifying, to wake up still kind of groggy and realizing, oh, okay, cool, and now I'm about to die.
Yeah. Like, I thought I would have been dead already, because he had obviously made a decision.
Yeah.
And thought it was over.
It was already
Comes
dead.
Back and he's like, oh, all right, cool, but wait.
I'm about to be dead. Yeah.
So scary. So, like, you were telling me, like, how it was making you nervous, like, watching, like, Titanic even made you, like, feel weird.
Oh, I saw that movie a bunch of times in the theaters, but it was weird because, just the way that the water was rising, and that there's no way out of that room. And just see, okay, cool, I have 10 minutes left until I literally can't breathe. And then, like, the moment, like, when, like, your lips are just above the surface of the water and they're pressed up against the, that got really nerve-wracking for me.
Yeah, and that's when they're floating at the top and they have, like, their moment of, they're like, oh, well, it's over. So then Frank is like, well, I'm going to go out like a rock star. Goes under, right?
Highway to hell.
Yes. Yeah. And then was it Dennis says to Dee, like, sis, I love you. And that's, like, legitimate. He has no, like, other thing to get out of that.
Right.
So he says that for real, because all the other times that Dennis is doing weird stuff, like, there's something he can get out of it. Mm-hmm. But telling his sister that he loves her, There's nothing he can get out of that in this scenario. So that's real.
Oh yeah, it was an honest moment.
That's a real Dennis like feeling.
After calling her a bird all this time,
all
and
this
she just
time.
tells him, "Get out of my face." Yeah, whatever.
She said, "Whatever. I'm drowning myself."
Yeah, and they all go down one way or another, and then I think it's the light of God.
Yeah, well, because we have Mac. They're like, "You're close with God. You've talked to him, so." Get him to save us, you know? And so then he does it. They go down there. They have this really moment, which I almost teared up at when they're like holding hands down there. I was like, oh, that's so nice. But they end up getting saved.
And they all start fighting each other instantly.
Yeah.
When they're like, oh, we can get saved. Well, screw you guys. I'm going to be the one that gets saved.
And then they're saved. And then they're still like, we go back to them in the bathrobes and we see that they are like in the middle of their confession. They're pleading their case to what is implied is God. But they're like, can you move that light? It's shining in my face.
Yeah, and it's actually just the insurance claims adjuster.
Not the insurance claims it's Guy. Why?
Yeah, no kidding. And they're like, wait, you guys aren't the cops?
Yeah, and they're like, are we going to get any money from this?
I'm like, well, no, you just admitted to committing a bunch of crimes. There's no way we can get you any money. You're not
getting anything for that.
Yeah. And it was an act of God.
Act of God. So then that makes Mac say...
Well, I'm not gay.
Because God exists.
Yeah.
Because if God exists, there's no way that he's gay.
Yeah, so Mac's back in the closet. And the gang is alive.
Alive and well.
And I can't wait for the next season.
I can't wait for the next season. Cool. So that wraps up season 11 of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Do you want to say like what you'd like to see for next season?
Next season, I'd like to see... Gosh, I was about to say I want to see what happens if they kill a hooker, but they already did that. I was like, let's go off the wall. I would really like to see the gang in a jungles or in a wilderness survival situation.
Oh, that would be great.
Yeah, I don't know if they've done that before, but I want to see a wilderness survival situation. Maybe the gang, gets in a plane crash and gets dropped in the middle of the Amazon or something like that.
Yeah, I would like to see them in a real supernatural situation, not like psychological Shining thriller, but like if there's actually a ghost and they're like, can you like fucking shut up, ghost? Like we're in the middle of this drinking game or something like that. See how these people would react to like a poltergeist.
Yeah, I want to see that too. What a great idea for a Halloween episode too.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, all right, cool. Well, that wraps it up. That's the end of our show.
That's
Joe.
the end of our show, but it's the beginning
of our future.
Us. Yeah.
All right, guys. Let everybody know where they can find you, Joe.
You can find me on the interwebs at JoJo Doyle. Thanks for having me. AfterBuzzTV.com. Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, or I guess I should say Maria Undergaro. Well,
yeah, however they're going to do. They're going to figure that out later.
Yeah.
And I'm Marielou Mandl. You can find me on all social media at Marielou Mandl. And I'm also in the middle of a 30-day or all of March, every day in March, posting a video on YouTube challenge. So follow me on YouTube so you can see it. I'm Marielou Mandl.
They're great videos, guys. Go check them out.
I throw glitter in the air. It's great.
Yeah.
Have a great night, guys.
Peace. From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.